Hello Chronoholics, I am Dr. Achint Mediratta. Welcome to another episode of Chronoholic Stories, where we, as the leaders of the Indian watch community, have a duty to bring you terrific collector stories from across the world. And today, for this episode, our guest is Mr. Achint Mediratta, a Stockholm-based software engineer working at Spotify, an avid outdoorsman, a very sorted watch collector, a fellow coffee snob, and of course, a great friend. Welcome to Chronoholic, Achint. How are you?
Good, man. Thank you for having me.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Tell us about who you really are. Who is Achint the man?
Who am I? That's always a very hard question to answer. Like you mentioned, I am a software engineer by trade.
Sure.
Been doing it for almost 20 years now. But beyond that, yes, coffee snob, but I love conspiracy theories. On my reading list, you'll find 80% of the things being conspiracy theories.
And war stories, true, right?
And war stories. So I really enjoy reading up on, more specifically World War II.
Sure.
And the battles that have happened since.
Right.
The other bit I really enjoy reading on is man's conquest of the different mountains. So anything related to climbing is something that I love doing. And of course,
well, watches, yeah. That's what has brought us together.
Yep.
So let's just dive right in. We'll circle back to the other hobbies that you have, but let's dive right in. What got you into getting into the hobby?
I really don't remember what my first ever watch was because I've been wearing watches for as long as I can remember.
Sure.
The first serious watch, quote unquote, that I got was after my class 10 boards that my parents gifted me.
Right.
It's a Timex Marina. Yeah. I've had this for close to 20 years now. Sadly, it died on me last week, so I hope I can get it fixed. But the reason I love this watch so much is growing up, I was a big Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger fan.
Okay.
And if you've seen Commando and Predator,
they've been having chunky
field watches on their wrists. Yeah. And I didn't know what a Seiko was at that time. I didn't have access to it. But when I saw this watch in a store, I just fell in love with it. And this was my prize for doing decently in my class 10 boards. And I've cherished this watch forever because this was the gateway into properly appreciating watch, properly making memories with the watch.
Right.
This has survived university with me.
Sure.
Multiple
breakups and whatnot.
Sure. Let's not get into that. Multiple embarrassments.
It's rare to see people's first watch still with them because, with the ravages of time, a lot of people tend to misplace it or lose it or kind of break it even, so it happens. So that was your first. What came after that? And how did you actually get into the hobby?
What came next was another Timex, which I don't have with me right now. It's still with me, but I don't have it with me today.
Okay.
Timex came up with the set of adventure watches, my compass,
yes.
E-Tide.
That's right. Yeah.
Now that was my aspirational watch. I still remember seeing that on a big billboard saying, ye khareedne ka hai.
Nice.
But as a university student, you're broke, you don't have any fun. And this was already a very expensive watch by my standards at that time, right?
Fair, yeah.
So that became the aspiration. Fast forward to 2008, my first job, my first paycheck, I went and bought that E-Tide compass, which costed me, I think, 8,500 rupees at the time, which was a sizable chunk of money for me.
Absolutely, yeah.
It still is a sizable chunk of money if you think about it.
Yeah.
And I cherished that watch. बहुत मजाक भी बना उस घड़ी की वजह से because I was gimmick कि अच्छा temperature कितना है देखेंगे. You press the pusher, the needle would swing around and say, oh, it's 38 degrees.
Oh wow.
मेरे को ठंड रहा है यार. Why it doesn't feel like 38 degrees? Little did I know that it would take your ambient body temperature into account.
Oh my God, look at that.
You on road trip, I was like, let me see what north is. You press the button, so north is there. Like, okay, interesting. So
was that accurate though?
Let's say yes. Let's say it got me back home.
Yeah, sure. All right.
The third function that had was a tide indicator, high tide, low tide. The most useless thing you could ever have.
Yeah.
But दोस्त होते ना वो इस चीज को लाच करते हैं. So you were mocked for it. अच्छा high tide है, low tide है, डूबेंगे तो नहीं. दिल्ली में बैठे. So that became the next serious watch. Yeah. Nice. And I wore those watches for a good 7-8 years.
Yeah. Timex, and then what prompted you to kind of get into the next stage of watch collecting? Automatic and mechanical watches. How did you get there?
So I knew about mechanical watches for a very long time, and I think I knew those based on, not based on, because of my reading habits, because of the stories I was told.
Sure.
The most famous story ever told to man was the moon landings, the man's quest for space.
Absolutely.
अब उसमें if you're going into that and you see, okay, fine, space में तो गए, पहना क्या था?
True.
You have the space suit, you have the helmets, you have the rockets,
Right.
but then you have this watch on
top of
the space suit. I'm like, what the hell is that? And this is, we're talking 97, 98, early on in my formative years. So I read up about the magical thing called an Omega Speedmaster.
Yeah. And
I read about, okay, it's not something that is powered by a battery. But then, you know how you piece together things? I would always see my grandfather चाबी बदलते घड़ी में.
right.
I didn't know what it was because पापा की घड़ी में तो बैटरी थी, मम्मी की घड़ी में
Right.
like ये चाबी क्यों बदले, इसमें क्या है? घर पे you had a big pedestal clock which you had to wind up every day. That I knew was a mechanical thing. But घड़ी, wristwatch, I didn't know.
That could
but then
also
it
be.
clicked.
Yeah.
Then it clicked, oh, there's a mechanical watch.
Yeah.
And so I knew about them, but I'd never really actively pursued them because they were too expensive.
Well,
As someone who's starting off in your career, that is not where you want to spend your money.
Sure.
So I always knew about them, but fast forward to 2019 when my kids were born, that was a very special moment. And my ma gifted me an Omega DeVille. I still have that watch. I don't have it with me today.
Okay.
That was my first proper mechanical watch. So that's how it got serious.
That's what kickstarted your taste in mechanical watches and automatic watches.
Before that, I had an Oris, but that really didn't click. I loved the watch, but I would never wear the watch. The DeVille I wore.
Talk to us about your taste in Omega watches. He has a couple of Speedmasters on the table today. He has a wonderful, delectable collection of Seamasters, curated, hunted, more or less. And that was kickstarted by the DeVille that was gifted to him by his mother. Tell us about your taste in Omega.
Omega as a brand, I naturally gravitate to because I think it's got a lot to do with it being the first serious watch I got.
Sure.
And it being the first serious watch that made it an occasion. You don't have to, struggle. Yes, it's a lot of money to buy one, but you don't have to jump through hoops to get one. Just having a life achievement was enough for you to be able to go and get one.
Certainly. And all the more value added to it because A, it's commemorative for an occasion and gifted by your mother.
Exactly. And it was engraved. But it was more than the brand was. You felt valued in that transaction. You didn't feel like I'm someone who's मेरे को अपने से ऊपर कुछ चाहिए.
And I've had to work too hard to kind of get it on.
You already did. Like it's a very, very expensive watch.
It is, of course.
Omega is a very serious
Any
brand.
Omega right
so
now,
I think that coupled with my knowledge of this fabled moon watch.
Sure.
There's a brand called Omega that already was at a very certain pedestal for me. So that kick-started the love for Omega. And what followed was just insane amounts of reading, the rabbit holes that I went down into, which led me to appreciating the history of Omega and the story that brand has gone through over the past 150 years almost.
That's right,
now. And that is also where I think my foray into watch collecting started.
Right.
It was kick-started by that DeVille. As I started reading up on things, I started reading up on Speedmasters, Seamasters. It coincided with me stumbling on an article where Omega had released a couple of anniversary Seamasters around 2018.
Yeah, but that was
the 70th anniversary. They were the reissues of the original Seamasters.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, in 2018, correct.
Yeah, 38mm watches.
That's right.
And I was like, that was like, okay, I want to go experience these watches in person.
Yeah.
But the moment I held those in my hand, it was a feeling of, ye kya hai?
Okay.
They were too thick.
Yeah.
The dials were beautiful, but on the wrist they felt average.
Average, fair enough. Yeah.
That moment, I was like, you know what? If this is a reissue, there has to be the original ones out there somewhere.
That's right,
That's what started the hunt. And I think the hunt and collecting go hand in hand. Again, the rabbit hole deepened. You started reading more. You started reading things about the Seamaster 300s, the 57 trilogies, the first professional watches that came out. So that's what kickstarted. And that's, fast forward 2 or 3 years, I now have both those Seamasters in my collection.
Wow.
One from 52, one from 56.
Wow.
And these watches are 80 years old, and they're better looking than I am.
And I've seen those, in pictures, of course, but fantastic.
The only reason you don't have them on the table this day is because I was unsure how they would deal with the Delhi humidity.
Yeah.
They're very old watches, and I don't want their dials to.
Yeah. They're pretty much safe in Stockholm, but not in India, right? Because of the.
I do get them to India. I was wearing them on my brother's wedding.
Oh, nice.
But wo Sardi mein tha. No humidity. So they can survive that. The humidity, I don't know.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I mean, I totally get you would want to protect those. They're legacy pieces, honestly. There's so much history, so much provenance.
Yeah. So much stories they tell you.
Stories, yeah, absolutely. But okay, you got the moon watch. That's fine. It's a classic. It has a light. Look, I mean, it's a safe choice. I'll put it like that. But you also have a wonderful broad arrow on the table. Contrasting watches for the most part, and not that contrasting. Why would you have another Speedmaster, and especially the broad arrow at that?
So all of the watches that I've brought today with me are watches that I often find myself staring at. These are not the most...
In hand or online? Or both?
Both. Now in hand, before online. And these are not the most special, outside of the Speedmaster and the Timex, none of these watches hold very deep emotional connections.
Okay.
But the way they were designed, and I'm not talking about intricate hand engraving, intricate artwork or anything. These are very simple watches.
Yeah, they are.
But there's beauty in simplicity, and I think these watches have nailed that design.
Absolutely.
For me, at least.
Each in their own way.
Yeah, for me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this broad arrow, again, I was on the hunt for a very long time, and I was on the hunt for after I got to know about the 57 trilogy. So the first professional watches, as they were called, Omega released them in 1957.
Yeah.
Speedmaster, Seamaster, and a Railmaster.
Railmaster, yeah.
So this Speedmaster, 1957 dial, 1957 branding, hands, in a modern lyre luck case, which to me is again one of the most beautiful watch cases out there.
It is.
This to me was the greatest hits of Omega in one watch.
Yeah.
The trouble with this watch is you can't find a decent piece because when they were issued, there was a fatal flaw in the case.
Yeah.
Moisture would seep in and the hands would corrode.
That's right, yeah.
So it took a long time to hunt for this watch. And when I found this, it was in immaculate condition. I think the owner got the hands replaced and the dial replaced, which is to me is fine.
Yeah.
But what I essentially got was a spick and span Speedmaster 57.
Lovely.
And again, I just find myself sitting and looking at this.
Looking at it, yeah.
I'm one of those guys जो office में meeting चल रहा होगा ना वो अपनी list को ऐसे देख रहा होगा. And someone would call me out saying, Achint, are you there? I'm like, yeah, I'm focusing. I'm focusing.
I'm right here, but
I'm with you. So yeah, this is why I have this along with that. You have to have the moon watch.
Yeah.
If not for the aesthetics, for the story.
For the
exactly.
heritage,
This is the greatest story ever written.
Absolutely. And that's the best part about the Speedmaster, if I may say so. I mean, I don't play favorites, but Speedmaster is one of the most essential chronographs in the world, in the history of watchmaking. It's an achievement of immense proportions.
Yeah.
And it combines modern watchmaking and history in a fantastic package.
For a watch design to essentially stay unchanged for 60 years.
Exactly, that's what I mean, sure.
Unchanged, they've not even tweaked with it. It's been the same since 1965.
Yeah, true. That's the Speedmasters, but what special Seamasters do you have right now?
I've got a bunch of Seamasters and the hunt continues.
Yeah.
So like I said, I have a Seamaster CK2846 from early 1950s. Sure. I don't have the extract from the archive, so I don't know exactly what year. Right. That has a center second and what people call an explorer dial, so 12369.
Yeah.
With a beautiful off-white center area and a silverish outer dial. Right. I absolutely adore that watch. It's a teeny tiny 34.5, 35 millimeter watch, but if you're wearing that with white shirt, jeans, that watch.
It's a great watch, right?
It has stood the test of time for 80 years.
That's true. Yeah.
For all that talk about, I have got a 7.5 inch wrist, 34, 35 millimeter. It's a petite watch, but you can pull it off.
Sure.
I've got another Seamaster CK2848, which is from the mid 1950s. Okay. That's got a sub-second.
Yeah.
That has got a beautiful champagne dial with gilt indices. Keeps excellent time, surprisingly.
And that's Omega for you, after all, right?
Rock solid. The only thing I'm afraid of is humidity.
Fair, yeah. Have you got these service by any chance?
Yeah. Both of them. If I'm buying the watch pre-owned, and both of these were essentially pre-owned, the first thing I do is I get them serviced.
Okay.
Unless the owner can give me papers,
a certificate or something.
Like with this, they told me that it was serviced recently.
Right.
So I didn't have to get it serviced.
Sure.
But yes, I got those serviced, and it's funny how watch collecting introduces you to some very interesting people.
Yeah.
Both of these Seamasters have been serviced by a guy who's been servicing watches for the past 70 years.
Wow.
And पहली बार मेरे को डर लगा, मैंने कहा घड़ी दूंगा वापस मिलेगी, because I don't know if you're going to be there by the time I get my watch back. But he's 80 odd years now, 80 odd years old, still servicing watches, sharp as a tack, and he's a very eccentric guy. You take anything other than Omega, Longines or a Tissot, he's going to turn you around. Exact words, I will not touch those watches.
Oh wow!
So he's a special character, but he's a very skilled watchmaker. So both of those watches were serviced by him.
He's based in
Sweden, in Stockholm. Yes.
Okay.
Funnily enough, the first time I gave that Omega to him for service, he said, "My father had the same watch."
Oh wow!
And you could see the emotion in his eyes.
That's right. Yeah. Across generations, imagine
Like
that. He is 80 himself.
He is 80 himself, and he remembers his father having that watch. So that to me is the special thing about collecting watches. The third Seamaster I have is something that you helped me get actually. It's the Seamaster 300 1957 trilogy.
Yeah.
Why do I love that watch? Vintage Omega branding.
Yeah. Again, 57 at play. Yeah, fair enough.
I think the beauty about watch collecting and the beauty about Seamasters for me is it's allowed me to look past the hype. It's allowed me to go into this academic research of watches.
Right.
Chotha Seamaster is a recent
the CV
acquisition,
isn't it? No.
No. I don't like the new Seamasters.
You went to the store to check that out. I remember.
I don't like the new Seamasters. They're too shiny for me.
Okay.
I'm at the same time I'm pleasantly surprised by Omega going back to aluminum bezels and non-ceramic dials. So let's see what happens now.
Yeah.
But the last Seamaster I got was a Seamaster from 1994, the original Roslin.
Right.
Why did I go for that? I got sick and tired with this entire Bond limited edition nonsense. I think that's when a watch turns into a gimmick.
Yeah, true.
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Especially with those broad other, like, you're not a military man. What the hell are you doing?
I know. Yeah.
And it's not an officially issued watch to the military, so it's like,
it's just a connotation or a correlation with Bond, right?
I mean, fair play. If you're passionate about Bond and
Fair
that,
enough.
it's not for me.
It sells a lot of watches. Yeah.
But I went back to the source. Like, ये शुरू कहाँ से हुआ था?
Ah, nice.
1993, GoldenEye, Pierce Brosnan. So I was like, okay, let me see if these are available. If I can find a good example there. Found one, paid less than what people would pay for an Apple Watch. And I love that watch. It's I've put it on the mesh bracelet, new Omega mesh bracelets, and it just sings.
I'm sure it does.
Those are the 4 Seamasters I have, and I'm on the hunt for the 5th. That has been the longest hunt. I just can't seem to find the right example.
Right. And of course, I mean, the hunt also requires, you know, it's not just about, hey, I got this or I acquired it. It's also about learning what makes a watch a watch.
Exactly.
And you should also know कि original कितना है, मतलब how much has it been tampered with, how much is it real anymore, you know?
Exactly. I mean, coming back to the hunt, the longest hunt has been what people call the Omega Seamaster 165.024. I think it was launched in the 60s, late 60s, 66, 67. Sword hands, bezel, fully graduated bezel. I absolutely adore that watch. The problem is finding one which is not oxidized like hell, because those are worn by people.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And the thing I love about that watch, Abhi, if you look at the most obvious candidates in watch collecting, grail watches, people often quote the mill sub.
Yeah.
Rolex 5517.
5517 and 5513.
5517.
13 was the previous, and the 17 is actually the mill sub.
With the fixed lugs and the sword hands.
That's right, yeah.
वो कहाँ से है? वो डिजाइन कहाँ से है? It was the Seamaster 300.
Exactly.
And it is impossible to unsee
Exactly,
that.
correct, yeah.
So for me, I will get that watch. The question is the right example. So I'm waiting, and thankfully I'm praying that it doesn't shoot in value like the 5517.
Sure.
But hopefully it'll happen soon.
Yeah, nice.
So that's the last Omega I'm hunting for.
Omega, the last Seamaster is hunting for. You've told us about the Speedmasters and the Seamasters, but what about, do you also delve into the other lines that Omega has? For example, the Railmasters,
I've never really felt anything for the Railmaster.
But the Constellations and the Devils?
A DeVille I have.
You have one, yeah.
DeVille I have. I wear it on special occasions. It's my dress watch.
Sure.
Constellation, I'm on the hunt.
Yeah.
Constellation, there's a model called the CK2852. The first Constellation that came out in 1958, 59, I don't remember.
Okay.
And people go bonkers over the dog legs Constellation.
Yeah.
I don't think they're versatile enough. But there is a Constellation out there with spear indices, a two-tone dial, and normal bevel lugs, jo omega ke hote hain, with a pipe and dial.
Okay, interesting.
So that is out there.
But again, you got to hunt it down.
I'm hunting it down because every time I've found an example, either the lugs are knackered or the dial is knackered.
Sure.
Or the person is asking an unimaginable price.
Sure.
So I'm waiting. Let's see.
Yes,
It's gonna come. Omega hits me CK859 recently with the sector dial, silver. I wish I'd bought that. And I've passed on that a couple of times. I think my taste itne mature nahi the, I was in a weird state of mind, but I love that watch. The heat blued hands.
Those are just
silver dial.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's my problem with Rolexes. Yeah. I mean, we have to talk about Rolex if we're talking about Omega, yes. I love the Submariner, or I loved the Submariner, the last generation, the 14060.
With the maxi case,
with the original maxi case and the aluminum bezel.
Right.
But the prices they're going for now, if you hold that in hand and you're like, iska mein itna
yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, why? And for a mass-produced watch, that's my problem with, that's why I don't have a Submariner. And the new Submariners are too shiny for me. I can't unsee the smudges.
How about the comment? I think this is different, right?
I've been eyeing that. Like that was a surprise. I didn't.
Yeah. But we must talk about his history with Rolex and what he's done. He's an exception, guys. I'm gonna preface it by saying he's an exception. Please tell us what you did to the Rolex 80s.
My principle with collecting is the moment you put it on your wrist, you have to feel something.
Sure.
Positive or negative, you have to feel something.
Right.
So 2019 or early 2020, again, the love for Submariner was always there, and I thankfully was in a position where I could say, you know what, let's see if I can get one. I went to the boutique and I said, okay. At the time, my contact was like, yeah, there is a Submariner. If you want, we can.
Yeah, 2019 was
available.
Things were still available. Yeah.
And I said, okay, let me try it on, because I'd never tried on a sub before that. I'd only seen it in pictures, and I was always enamored by it. I try on no date sub, the previous generation with the broad shoulders.
Sure.
I put it on my wrist, and I'd make this face. and I didn't know that I'd been so obvious with my reaction.
Okay.
But I made this face. I was like, "Kya gaya?" And the AD, the sales guy said, "That's the first time you made a very weird face, right?" I said, "Did I?" He said, "Yeah, you don't like the watch, do you?" I said, "I actually don't."
Not really, yeah.
It feels like it's trying to be something it's not.
Yeah, sure.
Whether it's trying to be a piece of jewelry or whether it's trying to be a tool watch, both cases, I don't know what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
And it's too shiny on my wrist. I don't like it. He said, so what?
You want it or not, yeah?
I said, nah. He said, you don't want it? I said, nah, I'm not feeling it. He said, you're sure? I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to remember you. Because this never happens.
Yeah.
That was my introduction to that AD.
Okay.
Anyway, a few months passed. I then said, you know what, let's try a Rolex again.
Sure.
I went in, and by that time, all the hype was around the green dial date just.
The mint green.
The mint green date just.
Okay.
And by that time, the hype was at its peak. You couldn't try the watches, you couldn't see the watches, you had to beg, borrow and steal, and just lick
play those games.
I said, okay, can you put me down for a mint green date just at least? Yeah, sure. So they put me down. They said it's going to be at least a 2-year wait. I said, that's not a problem. I can save up. I go out. About a year and a half later, they called me. They said, okay, the date just here if you want it. I said, oh, that was quick.
All right.
Excellent.
1.5 years, huh? Not bad.
Not bad, exactly.
Not bad.
Go to the AD. As I'm walking towards the table where he's presented the watch for me to go try it on by, I see my sales associate sitting there, and I'm walking towards him. And out of the corner of my eye, I spot this watch.
This is a Reverso Tribute monophase in green.
So I spot this watch, and I do this as I'm walking towards him.
Yeah.
And he's the same guy who knew I had said drove to Submariner a year and a half ago. And he starts smiling. He said,
Try your watch.
I said, yeah, great, but can you also bring that out? Just out of curiosity. He said, yeah, but try it out. While you're trying it out, I'll bring that out of the case. Perfect. I go there, I sit, I put on the Datejust mint green on my wrist, and I again make that face. I don't know I make that face. It's a very organic reaction.
Very visceral reaction.
It's like, and you know, it's a very, you're smirking and like, and he says, that's twice. That's all he said. He said, that's twice, you know. I said, what's twice? He said, you've made that face twice now. I said, twice? He said, yeah, with the Submariner once. This is strike two.
Just okay.
He said, do you not like it? I said, I don't know, let me try the reverso. And I tried the reverso and I'm like, gaane bajne lage, hawaii chal rahi. And I don't know what it was. In hindsight, I think it's because the mint green is beautiful in certain lights.
Sure.
It changes the color quite a lot.
It does, sure, it does.
When the light hits it at a particular angle, it's a very muted, faded green, which I did not like. Compared to this, it's a very rich, luscious green in every
angle, every light,
And the strap is just...
it is, right?
So, said no to the Datejust. Mint green Datejust 41 with a fluted bezel and the Jubilee. This 23.
Hello?
Yeah. And I walk out with this.
All right.
So, I was like, okay, fine. Rolex aayega, kabhi to aayega, dekhiye.
Okay.
There is something out there for me.
But then you bought one.
Then I got one, which is after I promised my family that this is it, because this was a fairly pricey purchase. Like, नहीं ये तो सबका बाप है, इसके बाद कुछ नहीं लगेगा.
Rolex में बनता है.
6 महीने बाद call आया, Achint, we have a exhibition going on.
Okay.
You can come and try out every Rolex model there is, and then if you like one, you can put your name down. So, excellent. I go there, I try the Daytona, make the same face. The sales associate is aghast by now. He said, "ये क्या बंदा है? क्या कर रहा है? देसी पागल है क्या?" I try the Submariner, make the same face. I try the Explorer 1, it's too small. Explorer 40, make the same face. Explorer 140, make the same face. Explorer 2, I don't feel anything, but I don't make the face, surprisingly.
Okay.
I try a blue Datejust 41 with a fluted bezel Jubilee dial.
Jubilee bezel,
Jubilee bracelet, fluted bezel, Hawaii, Ghana.
Right.
And he by this time the sales associate knows my reaction. He's like, oh, this is a different face. I said, what do you mean? He said, I remember the first time you made those faces. This is not that face. So I said, okay, I really like it. Is it possible for you to put me down for one? And I'm fine with waiting. I am in no rush.
Sure.
He said, sure, let me see what I can do. I walk out. By this time, I'm starving because this was over lunch. And lunch मेरे लिए sacred है. खाना नहीं छोड़ने का. I go out, I decide, you know what, I'm feeling like a falafel today. So I go out, sit in a restaurant, order a plate of falafel with hummus. All the nice sauces that come with it. Bear in mind that this is barely 15 minutes after they've put my name down. As I'm eating, I get a call from the AD saying, Achint, if you want the blue Datejust, it's yours. I said, when? He said, now. I said, excuse me? As I said, excuse me, falafel, chutney, on my spanking white shirt, destroyed. I said, I would love to come, but I don't think I can now. Because I've got falafel all over me. And he started laughing. I said, okay, but I'll come. And that's how I ended up buying the blue Datejust, which I adore. And that's how I learned why I don't like the mint green Datejust, because even the blue, it is beautiful in certain lights.
Pretty vibrant,
But in certain lights, it's the same muted, faded.
Finish. That is true.
Funnily enough, as I was picking up the blue Datejust, I asked the sales associate, मैं गलती कर रहा हूँ क्या? Of course in English or Swedish. Because should I be putting my name down for the green one? Because I know that's the hyped one still. He said, I still remember your face, don't do that. And he said, you also have a reverso.
Reverso green,
Why do you want to end up in a state of conflict in your collection? And I said, fair enough. So that's where.
And I know for a fact that you don't have blue dials. You just have the Rolex, which is the blue.
Devil is blue. The devil is blue. So that makes it all the more special. That the two stalwarts in my head
are blue and
are blues.
Nice.
Which I love. So
but I think you're due for a professional steel sports Rolex as well.
If I can control my reactions, maybe.
You didn't have that bad reaction with this one, man.
Surprisingly not. I actually am still sort of eyeing it from the side as we're talking. So let's see.
Let's hope it happens soon. Let's just quickly wind up the watches on the table and then we can move on to other stuff. We've spoken about the JLC, we've spoken about the Omegas, the Timex, but you also have a lovely Chrono Tokyo Toki on the table.
Toki, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about it. I mean, I can talk a lot about this watch because I had one myself.
Yeah.
I passed it on only because it was too small for me.
Yep.
But man, the design language on the Chronos.
Yeah. When my kids were born,
Yeah.
I decided to gift my wife a watch.
Okay.
Zelos had come out with a watch called the Nova.
That's right.
Usme they had a limited run of the Salmon Nova with a guilloche pattern on that.
Yes.
That is one of the most beautiful watches I've seen, period.
I agree.
The moment it was launched, I purchased it and I contacted Achant saying, can I get number 15? Because that was the birth date for my kids.
Okay.
And I got number 15.
That's
so
nice.
I love that watch. Ever since I got her that watch, I knew that I wanted a Salmon watch for myself.
For yourself, okay.
I didn't want it to be another Zelos Nova because by then they were sold out and they were going for ridiculous prices, which I don't really understand. A few years later, I learned about Chrono Tokyo and they were about to release this watch. There's something about the salmon here, which is salmon in certain lights, crimson red in certain, and a very dark grey in certain others.
Yeah.
In essence, it's a very similar purchase to the Zelos, which is a limited run of watches, boutique, micro brand,
Absolutely.
exquisitely done. Like the craftsmanship on this watch it's fantastic.
It's absolutely fantastic. There's no question.
I don't have this watch anymore. My ma has this watch, so she loves it more than I do.
Interesting.
So she wears it.
Okay.
I absolutely love this watch, but I also sort of hate it.
Nice. Huh?
In all the exquisiteness, in all the hand finishing, in all the details that they've come up with,
Yeah.
how the hell do you have 3 different fonts on the dial?
My friend, don't even get me started on that.
That's another one of the reasons I moved on.
Why? And how do you get to a place where the automatic is the exact same script as you find on the Longines? And how the hell do you come up with a set of hands that are impossible to read? I don't know if it's
The legibility
9,
is
10
pretty
or,
short on that,
or about...
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. No, I get what you're saying. And
There's also another problem. No, not just this watch. 3 fonts in this. You know,
they have a calendar watch with 2 sub-dials.
Yeah.
5 fonts on it.
Yes.
5 fonts.
How do you do that?
It's a visual nightmare to me.
You know?
Merko Tabi, coming back to Omega briefly, that's why I hated the previous generation of the Sapphire Sandwich.
Yeah.
The dial was beautiful.
Right,
You
yeah.
flip it over, it would feel like a Chinese knockoff.
Absolutely. Especially with
How
that.
do you come up with the Times New Roman crappy font in the case back? Why would you do that?
I see you've put on aftermarket straps on your watches, but I also know that you really, really love
NATO. And NATOs
are a big hate or love-hate relationship that collectors on the whole have with NATOs, right? I tried my hand at NATOs. I could never warm up to them. The fit didn't feel okay.
I mean, so I always had a problem with it. And then, of course, that extra fabric laying down the top, you
holding it.
it looked,
I'm not gonna lie,
it looks great in pictures. It really does. Especially sometimes when people pull off
a military watch, mil-spec watch with a properly done NATO.
fantastic. I just can't for the life of me.
Wear a NATO. Why do you like NATO so much, bro?
One reason is exactly why you don't like it, the extra piece of fabric that hangs out.
Sure.
I love the look of it.
Okay.
I don't know why, I just love that extra bit sticking out and folded.
Sure.
I don't have a better explanation, I just love the look of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I also am extremely indecisive as a human being.
Okay.
मेरे से बार किसी ने पूछा था, are you indecisive as a person? And I couldn't decide if I'm indecisive. That's the level of indecisiveness. Cognitive dissonance बोलते हैं. अलग-अलग ideas है दिमाग में, दोनों valid है और दोनों opposing हैं. दोनों opposing हैं. So that's my constant state of being.
Sure.
Which means I usually want to change the strap on my watch because I don't like it from one day to the other.
Sure.
NATO's allowed me to do that very easily.
And with quick time as well. Yeah?
With quick time.
Yeah, sure.
Secondly, I really beat the crap out of my watches, except the JLC, of course.
Sure, yeah.
I have a Pelagos, which is from Raka bulata hu. That's my best friend.
Yeah. In fact, he has the original 2-liner Pelagos.
So I love that watch, and it's been through hell with me.
Yeah.
मैं उसको पहन के I was stuck in a snowstorm,
Wow.
and I helped a guy pull his car out in a snowstorm, shoveling snow, lifting things with that Pelagos. I've learned how to ski in that watch.
Amazing.
I've been swimming in lakes with that watch.
Sure.
That watch survived being sucked into the Atlantic Ocean. Vanity is a very useless thing.
Sure.
Last year we went on a road trip to Iceland, bucket list moment, and I took my Pelagos with me. So I take 2 watches with me, my Speedmaster,
Sure.
because moon pe to main ja nahi raha, the most extreme landscapes I
Right,
can
yeah,
see in
sure.
Iceland, so let's at least try to do justice to the provenance of the watch.
Okay.
And the Pelagos, because the Pelagos is it's that watch is my best friend.
Sure.
I lovingly call it Raka. क्योंकि मैं इतना बड़ा
Was it a planned purchase or was it an impulsive purchase?
So the Pelagos was an impulsive purchase because pandemic happened.
Yeah.
You were sitting at home. I was reading up on watches, going into rabbit holes, and this comes up for an online auction. I like, bid market देखते हैं.
Okay.
I make a bid. No one else bids. I'm like shit.
I gotta pay.
and I now have to pay. So I end up getting the watch. And I didn't expect to love it so much. And I wore it for a year straight.
Sure.
And the best part about that watch is my son loves it more than I do, because he if I'm wearing that watch and he's sitting next to me, he will keep on fidgeting with the bezel.
Nice.
And he loves it. And if I'm not wearing that, even on this trip, I don't have it with me. He's asked me at least 3 times, where's the watch?
Oh, wow. Okay.
But anyway, so we coming back to the Iceland story. We go to Iceland, road trip, extreme landscapes, beautiful landscapes.
Sure.
But it's also got one of the most dangerous beaches in the world.
The black beach and everything, right?
Yeah, so because the tricky part there is you've got something called sneaker waves.
Okay.
Serene sa beach lag raha hoga, tranquil. Achanak se there'll be a big wave that can suck you in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a very paranoid person as a parent.
Okay.
अगर कुछ गलत हो सकता है वो मेरे दिमाग में हो चुका है.
Correct. Yeah.
तो I'm the one who's exercising extreme caution, irritating the crap out of my wife and my kids.
ये नहीं करना,
ये नहीं करना, वो नहीं करना. सबको पूरा पेज का इंस्ट्रक्शंस गया था कि बीच पे क्या करने का है, क्या नहीं करने का है.
Okay.
Now me, after giving all these instructions, making sure everyone is safe, I was like, क्या एक Instagram के लिए फोटो खींचते हैं.
अच्छा.
So I take the Pelagos off, put it on the rock. Wait. So in my head, I was like, I'm far away. Waterline तो वहाँ है, यहाँ पे थोड़ी आएगा कुछ. मैं भूल गया हूँ कि sneaker waves नाम की कोई चीज़ होती है. I put the watch there. I click a picture, and as I'm clicking the picture, पीछे से wave आया.
Yeah.
And it just drenches me, and the watch is on the rock.
Oh God.
Instinctively, I just put my hand down. अगर वो NATO पे होता तो वो घड़ गया था. वो that watch is on a rubber strap, right? On a with a deploying clasp.
Yeah. Okay.
So incidentally, my finger went through the loop,
Oh, thank God.
and the watch got stuck this way.
Yeah. Otherwise,
It was gone.
Otherwise, it was gone. And now it has a big scratch on the left because of that, which reminds me, vanity is useless.
Yeah.
So that watch has survived the Atlantic Ocean also.
nice.
You also have another Tudor, and that's the Black Bay.
That's the blue bezel Black Bay with the rose logo.
Rose logo and smiley dial.
yeah. Tudor मेरे को इसलिए पसंद है because I think it's giving me all the vibes that I expected from a Rolex.
Sure.
A tool vibe, no nonsense,
correct.
not blingy.
Doesn't scream at you. Sure. Yeah. Very tough, in fact.
तो अगर Submariner tribute लेना ही है, and you want to stay true to Tudor, you go for a Tudor that had did not have an in-house movement but an off-the-shelf movement.
Right.
And the fact that they chose to put their old rose logo on it, जो कि नहीं मिलता है, वो नहीं मिलेगा.
नहीं मिलेगा. Correct. अब तो बिल्कुल भी
The
नहीं मिलेगा.
personality of that watch is so special.
Yeah.
At the time, the debate was, do I go for the black bezel, which is very collectible these days?
Yeah.
Because that had the shortest run, I think, 6 months. Or
That's
something.
right. About 8 months or so.
Or the burgundy, which was
With
the
D-class.
original.
Sure.
And I couldn't stand either of them. Same OCD. You know why? Because black make, the indices are gilt.
Yeah. But
The bezel is
marking
silver.
Yeah.
I can't unsee
know.
that.
I see.
Same with the burgundy. With
And the blue,
it
steel
fits.
accents on the
And it's a modern take on what would have been in Tudor. So
That's right.
similar to this, अगर Speedmaster Moon पे नहीं जाता, professional series नहीं आती,
तो ऐसा होता.
तो ऐसा होता.
Yeah, that's right.
Same with the Pelagos and the Black Bay. अगर discontinue नहीं होता, तो शायद वो आज ऐसे होते.
True.
So that's why I really love those watches.
That's right. Let's talk about the skipper that you don't give wrist time to. And I remember the conversation we had while you were at Delhi Duty Free trying to buy it. And I told you, are you sure you want to buy it? Because it's, honestly, skipper is a great watch. It's a little too small, especially for a wrist like yours.
I don't mind the size, especially as someone who's worn a 34.5 millimeter Omega.
Sure.
I think the size is perfect.
Then why doesn't it get wrist time?
I think because of my indecisiveness. I strap hack. I strap hack like hell. And all my watches are destroyed when it comes to the lugs.
Yeah, fair.
The skipper, you can't strap hack because uska color combination is so unique, it doesn't go with a lot of straps.
True.
So I think that's what stops me.
Okay, not the size though.
No, I love the size.
Okay, but for me personally, I love the watch, but the size is a big consideration for me.
No, I actually don't mind the size at all. I
Wonderful.
think it's beautifully proportioned.
Absolutely, no doubt. Absolutely, it's a great watch. And but why did you get it? Let's have that story. I know the story, but you should hear from him.
Vanity is a very useless thing.
Again,
Let's just say that.
yeah,
College mein,
yeah.
I had a fake tag here,
Okay,
like you all do.
yeah. Fair enough.
I didn't, in all fairness, I didn't know what made the watch fake.
But you knew it was fake when you
I
bought
knew it was fake. I knew it was not an original tag.
Got it.
But when you compared it to
You couldn't
original
make
tag,
out a
you couldn't,
difference
yeah.
as such. Okay.
Class 1, class 2 copies, AAA वो बाद में
Sure,
पता
sure.
चला
हाँ,
मेरे को.
okay.
Now I got called out. जिसके पास एक original tag था उसने कहा ये fake है. And that's a very embarrassing thing to happen to you.
Sure. Was it somebody at your workplace?
This was in college.
Actually, in college. Wow. Okay. But in college, somebody had a real tag.
Yeah. वो दिल्ली में है. दिल्ली will be Delhi.
We're in Delhi, of course.
I got called out, and that sort of it stuck with me. कि यार, I got called out wearing a fake tag.
Never again.
If I'm ever in the position, I will buy a real tag. And when the new glass box Carreras came, I fell in love with them.
Sure.
And I fell in love with the skipper because once I wore it on my hand, I was like, this is beautiful. Well, it's unlike any other chronograph I have.
Absolutely, no doubt.
So when I saw that at Delhi Duty Free, I was like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like a salvation. कि
Yeah.
वो जो फर्जी घड़ी पहनता अब मैं ऐसा टैग ले रहा हूँ कि now I can do it. Now I can do the proper thing.
Sure.
So that's why I bought the tag.
Yeah.
I don't wear it as much. And purely because I can't strap hack it. Every time I do, it's on the original or it's on this NATO actually.
Yeah. You'd also put it on one of those cut to size straps.
Yeah. A white cut to size strap, which looks beautiful in that.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
But yeah.
Wonderful. That's it. And of course, let's wind it down by talking about this watch. This is the. Tell me about it. I'm not going to say anything.
It's an IWC 41 Top Gun chrono. Now, I've always enjoyed Fliegers. I've always had a thing for Fliegers.
Yeah.
One could argue the Speedmaster is also
It's
a
kind of
Flieger.
yeah, sure, fair.
My brother is now into watches because of my my craze.
All right.
And he always really enjoyed IWCs. Earlier this year, he got a Speedmaster, a white dial Speedmaster.
Nice. So now you have a complement of white and the original. Yeah. Very nice.
So he loved that, and when we were looking for watches, I saw the Top Gun.
Yeah.
I saw the original 3-hander, just Top Gun likha hua, and that felt like a gimmick.
Right.
Like, I can't wear a watch that says Top Gun on my wrist. But I love the movie Top Gun.
I think
I love the whole concept behind Top Gun, the school. And I then tried this watch on.
Yeah.
And
chronograph.
This chronograph, there's something about the proportions. People say it's too thick. I've tried the thinner version of this, the 3-hander, and it feels like a toy. The fact that it's a very simple, monochrome chronograph with a hint of red.
Yeah.
And this watch is surprisingly in the last 6 months has received the most compliments.
Yeah.
I've been in watch stores and people like, I love your watch, can I try it on?
Oh wow, amazing. This is the original strap as well, yeah?
This is the original strap.
Achha, with the
Quick release,
yeah.
The thing about all my watches is, watch purchases for me is it's not a logical purchase, it's a very emotional purchase. And बचपन से ना मेरे को ख्याली पुलाव पकाने का शौक है. Daydreaming is a big thing for me. Now, if I'm wearing each and every one of these watches, there's an alter ego that takes steps. With this, I'm a pilot.
Of course.
Why not? But with this, I'm a pilot.
Feel तो ले सकते हैं ना?
Exactly. I'm flying in F-22. I'm flying in F-35 with this. With this, I'm in Apollo 13 trying to be an astronaut. Nice. With this, I'm an executive. I've made it in life. And अभी अब दूसरों को boss down करेंगे.
So where is the software engineer at Spotify with watch?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
The software engineer wears that. The Speedmaster.
Okay.
Engineer at heart.
There you go. So now we know where it comes from. Yeah.
That is the watch I feel most at home with when I'm wearing it at work.
Sure.
Every other watch, I feel a little conscious.
Fair. No, I can totally relate.
And I don't wear my Rolex to work because if you're a manager and you're sitting with your team, you're wearing a Rolex, you come off as a douche. Surprisingly.
Yeah. And I don't know why the brand gets so much flack and hate, but it's a great watchmaking.
It's a beautiful watch.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I guess, I get the why of it.
I don't like it. I think I hate the question or the connotations that come with the kitne ka hai, that makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah. And because everybody is now, especially in the country that you're in, people are aware.
Yeah.
You know, that awareness is still not prevalent in India. I wear my Rolex on a daily basis, for example. Nobody bats an eye. But I get why you would get that. Yeah.
And you don't want to be that guy who's trying to show off, even when you're not. But that's what comes across.
Yeah, it does. That's true. And I love the IWC, man. And a great choice. I mean, you could have easily gone for the steel with the blue or the green dials. This is, in essence, IWC.
Exactly.
Okay, we've talked about a lot of his watches. Let's quickly get into the collecting side of things. What are your biggest regrets? Anything that you didn't get, anything that you want and you've not been able to get it?
Regret is a strong word. No, I don't think I have regrets.
Yeah?
No.
Very nice.
I think you're gonna have regrets if I suddenly was trying to sell all these watches.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get into that mindset.
Correct.
Itna paisa lag gaya, itna paisa gaya.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm not in that place right now, so I don't think I have regrets.
Okay. Fair. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think, yes, I've bought watches that I didn't really enjoy and I've sold on, but in doing so, I think I've learned things. I've learned certain aspects of the design, what works, what doesn't work. I've learned the art of restraint.
Yeah.
I've learned the art of vanity.
I think we've all gone through that phases, these phases.
I've learned कि vanity के पीछे नहीं भागने का है. तो नहीं, no.
और ego में घड़ी नहीं लेना ना, वो
ego में घड़ी नहीं लेना. वो किया तो फिर regret आएगा.
Yeah, absolutely. How about your long-term goals, short-term goals? What do you have in sights next? And what's kind of your
long-term goal? तो अभी भी Seamaster 300 165024.
Okay.
Mill sub big triangle.
Yeah.
Mill Seamaster big triangle.
Yeah.
But the piece has to be right.
Right.
So that is still on the hunt.
Ongoing hunt for you. Yeah.
It's an ongoing hunt.
Okay.
Short term, मैंने जब से वो रोलेक्स पे से ट्राई किया और शक्ल बनाया, उसके immediately बाद I tried on a CQ, a green CQ.
Okay.
I love that watch.
Yeah.
And I love that because it has all the elements I hate.
Sure.
But somehow they come together to
They
work.
come together.
So I hate watches that have the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 wala layout instead of the 12, 3, 9, 6.
Sure.
I do not like extremely ornate logoing.
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
I do not like multiple fonts like with the Chrono.
Sure.
On that it works because the Glasuite original and the ISA at the bottom, it works.
Yeah.
So that I'm still sort of
fair. And then it's a tough question. But would you be able to pick a favorite watch from your collection, or maybe say 3 favorite watches? Absolute favorites.
Favorites in terms of the ones I would never sell or the ones I love wearing?
Well, I said it's a tough question. What's your favorite? I mean, it's okay if you can't answer that because honestly, I can't answer
I'm going to separate them. So when I say favorites, these would still be watches that I might sell.
Okay.
But there are watches that I would never sell.
Fair.
The Devil is a watch I will never sell. It's not my favorite, but it's something I would never sell. I have an HMT from my grandfather, Anna Digi, which I will never, I would never sell.
Right.
Favorites, it has to be the Speedmaster. Yeah. I think it's been the longest pursuit, right from 98 to 2021.
Wow.
That's been the longest pursuit of my life.
Amazing.
So the Speedmaster is my favorite watch. Reverso is a close second.
Yeah.
Again, because I think this has been an aspirational thing for a very long time. The fact that I can have this in my collection, I consider myself to be very lucky. Sure. And it's a beautiful watch.
It is, it definitely is. And you don't get them too often these days. Yeah.
The third is Raka.
Ah, of course, with so many memories, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. Is there a message you would like to give to chronoholics, fellow watch collectors, new watch collectors who are just joining the hobby? What is a message from your experience, from your all these journeys and stories that you have? What would you like to tell our chronoholic friends?
If someone's starting off in the hobby, the only thing I'm going to say is make sure you like what you buy.
Yeah.
वो सब यही बोलते हैं, but I'm going to add a little caveat to that. Because it's an emotional purchase, at least for me, make sure that the what you're trying to buy is triggering some emotions. Fantasies होंगी, तुम pilot बन रहे हो नहीं बन रहे हो अपने ख्याल में. if it's giving you a sense of accomplishment कि यार ये चीज़ जो है मैंने इतने मतलब पापड़ बेले घिस के खरीदा है. So yeah, make sure that it's triggering some emotional reaction.
Right.
And create your own hype. किसी और के hype पे मत जाओ.
Well, absolutely.
That's what I always say. लोग कहते हैं don't follow the hype. Follow the hype, but वो hype आपका होना चाहिए.
Exactly.
किसी और का hype मत follow
What
करो.
you like. I mean, in the end, that's what the purity. That's where the purity of watch collecting.
मेरे लिए ये hype था. You can argue Speedmaster is a hyped watch anyway, but this has been a hype before I even knew the meaning of hype.
Sure.
Same with the Top Gun. ये मेरे लिए hype था because मेरे दिमाग में तो Top Gun में plane उड़ाऊंगा.
Yeah. So nice. That's been amazing. Actually, now I've had the pleasure of conversing with him for a long time, so I know him very well as a friend as well. But now, Chronoholics, we can safely say that we know Achint as a watch collector very intimately. And this has been wonderful, my friend. And thank you for your time today. Thank you for
it's been a pleasure.
Talking to us about your journey and your collecting philosophy. We'll be back with another episode of Chronoholic Stories very soon. Thank you for watching.